guys. Hey guys. Welcome back to another episode of Lunch in the Music Box. And I'm your host, Steffi Wonderful, also known as Steffi New. And if you all are listening to this right here, listen. If you guys are hearing this is the sound of the songbird herself, Miss Deborah Bond. And when I come back, she's going to be with us, okay? So stay tuned, you guys. Hang in there with me. Hey guys, welcome back. And look who's here with us. Deborah!
What's up?
Let me tell you, I am just beyond excited to have you on here. Man, I mean, can I just say this? What a crazy time that we're in right now, though. Is this not crazy?
It's beyond crazy. It feels unreal.
It's still. Right. Well, we're a year in, and I still feel like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I have so much. I mean, I have like pages of like things that I want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
30 minutes, but I'm gonna try to reel it in and try to get it good. But first off, I want to say thank you so very much. First off, for meeting you, I was like, oh my gosh, I get that read.
You were so warm. Oh my gosh. You don't understand. That helps us keep going when you meet really excited, warm, just good energy from fans and supporters. That was real nice. That was real special.
Thank you so very much. And then I have my baby girl with me who just called today. Happy birthday, Jen!
Happy birthday, boo!
And she's really, really into music. So, of course, she was peeping you out. And the fact that you took time to take a picture with her and then just to talk to me, I was like, this girl is so real. And I love that about you. So
thank you. You gotta be out here, man. You gotta be real, in my opinion. As my girl said, got to be real. You gotta be who you are.
Yeah, tell me about it.
And that was the first like real outing and performance I had. So just to see, it was like already like this kind of family reunion kind of energy, and then to meet you and your daughter, it was just that day was really special to me because that was like really my re-emerging back into the world, and what an event to do it,
Yeah, and hats off to the Kennedy Center for allowing us to put these type of events together there and just bringing people together. Because did you get a sense that everybody was like, "It's time"?
Oh my gosh,
it's open.
Yes, I feel like that was like a healing moment because it was a great day. It was like a beautiful day, and the music was nice. The view was beautiful. It was just. I think people were like craving that at that point.
Right. It was definitely something.
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, let me just do this. I know who you are, but you have a whole new set of audience here with us today. So can we get a little background on Miss Deborah, please?
Yeah. I am a DC transplant. I really feel like, really honestly now, I feel like I was full-on Washingtonian. I'm originally from New Haven, Connecticut, born and raised, but I moved to DC at 17 and have been here ever since, over 20 years. And I singer-songwriter, R&B, soul music. have 3 studio albums out. I also have a remix album that came out in between my first and second album that is actually out of print, but I actually have some now in print. So I've got some special limited edition copies of that. I got some goodies for you. And I've been performing in the Washington, D.C. area for quite a while. In addition to doing my own music and performing DC beyond, I've also done a lot of support work with artists that I admire and that I love. Sung backgrounds for everyone from Trina Broussard to Lettucey to Incognito out of London and Foreign Exchange. And so, and then on the side, while I was doing all of that, I also did kind of what you do. I was working in radio for 10 years at satellite radio, doing production work, doing voiceover work, jingle writing, jingle singing, interviewing of artists. I had my own show for about 1.5 years. And I enjoy mentoring young people in the world of music and doing private vocal lessons and even, vocal workshops or music and entertainment workshops. And I'm also a member of the DC's Grammy chapter, the Recording Academy. And I've served on the board of governors for 7 years. One of those years I served as secretary. Now I'm back on the board as governor. So I work a lot in that world as well. So I'm just musically a sponge trying to keep my fingers dipped in all of it.
First of all, there's not enough hours in a day to do just half of what you just said there. Okay, just not. I mean, that's just impossible. Who does this? The board does this.
Man,
so when you were talking about your mentoring program, I was looking, because, of course, I do my research on my artists before they come on. And I did see that you had posted something about some classes that you were doing.
Yes.
I can't read
some local stuff. Yeah, for DC. We're in the final stretch. I think there's about 5 workshops left, weekly workshops. I developed a program years ago that I was trying to, actually travel overseas to do some countries that needed a little bit more help than here. But basically, it's a 12-week program that each week has a different highlight of the world of entertainment and arts. And I pretty much take all of my experience, all the stuff I've been telling you about, and I just share my knowledge. And I came up with activities and all kinds of fun things for young people between about 13 to 18 years old. So it's been going well so far. We're still looking for more people to sign up. It's absolutely free to the public. It's at Creative Suitland in Maryland. And we go over all kinds of stuff. Tech stuff, how to set up your computer and microphone and record yourself at home, fashion for artists, networking for artists, how to properly use your social media to the fullest, how to just be in a room and find your tribe, like find minds, all kinds of really fun things. So we still have it's on Mondays now. We were doing it on Fridays, but now we're on Mondays from 6 to 7 p.m. Absolutely free at Creative Suitland in Suitland, Maryland. And I'm having a great time. I just want more people to show up.
You know what? This is great that we're on this platform because we're definitely going to blast it up because I do have my Black Girls Unforgettable and Unscripted.
Yes.
Which I probably will talk to you a little bit about that later now that I know you do so much. But there's quite a few young ladies that follow that. And it is going live on that page also. So you putting that out there, don't be surprised if you just have your doors getting banged on.
Oh, I would love it.
Anybody to come through.
I would love it.
So when I was reading some things about you, you were described, they say you are a people watcher and a dreamer and lover of philosophy. That's some deep stuff for a writer there, girl.
Yeah, I am. I'm a very, what I call heady person. I'm always in my head. I make this joke that I'm a chronic daydreamer. So I'm always like imagining and daydreaming what ifs and what would that be like. And also trying to understand people's logic about the way they live their life. And I'm a very introspective person. I've always been, even since I was a little person, I was always really dreamy and looking at the bigger picture. And also just really, I'm the type of person that will sit on the subway and look at a person sitting there reading the newspaper and think, I wonder where they live. I wonder where they're from. I wonder what their life is like. I wonder what their story is. And I'm a journalist at heart. I studied journalism in school. So I always want to know the story.
right.
with the story.
Behind the scenes. I don't the scene
Yeah.
that's good what we see here, but what's going on behind the scenes?
Yes,
Beneath
yes,
the makeup, beyond the veil,
right, exactly, yeah.
So I do want to get more into some background stuff, but I
Yeah.
have to just jump ahead just a little bit because when before we came on, I was telling you that hey, I was looking at Compass, listening to Compass, and my brain just literally exploded. I mean,
Woo!
just that. Let me get comfortable here for a
Come
second.
on,
Okay,
come on, yeah.
let me get right here. Okay, I I do want to know when you started writing for
Yeah.
them, but
Hmm.
let me just jump to something that I mean it burned my spirit listening to this song,
Hmm.
"Burden."
Burden. Yep, burden. Yeah, that
I'm
one.
gonna get all choked up with that because I'm like
I literally got goosebumps. Just yeah, it's
that.
crazy. That one I can remember very clearly because I did write the whole album last year during
Okay,
quarantine from start to finish.
wow,
And around the time when I started working on Burden, one I remember I have to give a shout out to Trey Sorrells, who is a Portsmouth, Virginia. He's from Portsmouth, but he's in the DC area now. He's a saxophone player, but he also does some production. He's growing in his world of production. And he played the piano part for me. He sent me a track and it was just mainly piano.
uh-huh.
And when it was the chorus part of the song.
Okay,
When I heard that, I immediately knew I wanted to write to that and what was going on in the world. Usually I let the music speak to me and make kind of guide me towards what I want to speak about. I don't produce, so I don't usually create the music myself. Usually a
great,
producer brings the music to me. And when I heard that one, I remember it was when it was at the peak of everything going on with George Floyd.
great,
I remember calling my younger brother, he's in his 30s, he's in Connecticut, and getting on him about driving without a seatbelt or, making sure he, follows all the traffic stops. Just don't do
great,
anything to get pulled over. Just don't do anything to get yourself, in a mess with cops. I remember, having this really intense fear that I've always had. We have this as Black people. We carry this as Black people. But I went into this little rabbit hole one day about the men in my life who are just such good men and how, with every situation, whether it have been Trayvon, whether it have been Floyd, there's always some spin that's put
great.
on the life of these people. With Trayvon, they found marijuana. It's always something,
Right. Well, this is why. Not that anybody knew this when they came across them, but
Right.
exactly. I
They
got
gotta
you.
they gotta put a spin on things. And I started thinking about the brothers in my life who there is no spin.
Right.
They got children, they are husbands, they have good jobs. There is no spin. And I started thinking about, it's already hard enough just to be a Black man, whether you come from the hood, whether you come from the suburbs. But then if you are a Black man that's really, really, really trying to change the narrative that the media has put on us, the burden that they must really carry is even more intense because there's no way to say that these people deserve this. There's no spinning you can put on this. These are just good humans. And I just, from that point of view, I just started writing about them. As soon as I heard that this one section of the song, I just kept thinking, burden of a Black man. That's the
Yes.
burden of a Black man. I just kept hearing that line. And from that point, I just started writing and writing. And I got to a frustrating point in that song because it was hard for me to say what was in my head. It was like I couldn't get it out lyrically all the way. And so I actually had a voice student who's now just turned into like one of my dearest friends. His name is Alshon Bryant. And I loved, lately he had been sharing with me things that he was writing as he's learning to develop himself into a full-on artist. And I thought to myself, I want to work with some new writers. I want to work with some folks I've never worked with. And I never done any projects with him. I just have been his coach and then his friend.
Great.
And I asked him if we could have a writing session and I could explain to him what I was trying to get on my heart and like what I wanted to say. And he really helped me bring that song to life. I mean, I had lyrics in some places. I had I love to look into your eyes to see the extraordinary power of your smile. But then when he said in my eyes, I said in my eyes, you're destined for greatness. And he said the laws of gravity you defy. That's like a king. That's like a god. Like he just took my thoughts and helped me elevate them. And by the time that song was over, when I listened to it fully, I just broke down.
Yes.
I just broke down. And I've had at least 10 men when the album first came out, reach out to me and thank me for writing it and told me that it brought them to tears and that they felt like it just was speaking to their experience. And so that song is really going to have a very important place in my heart. I'm looking for a film producer, a filmmaker to help me create a music video for that one. So call to action, anyone out there listening.
I'm sitting there thinking, I actually think I have a team that I think that would be awesome for you to work with.
Please put me in contact.
I'm just gonna put it out here really quick. That Humble Monarch crew, that copious amount group.
Yes.
I think that Gadget and Roddy. I think that would be interesting.
You're working with one of my good friends right now. So that's
okay. So I'm thinking, yes, it is. But I think that would be because they have a fresh eye on the way they're doing some of the stuff that they're working on.
I'm digging their work. Very good point.
And that rawness, especially like with Kmart,
yes.
Bro,
yeah.
We're working here, girl. We're working this out
now because I've been really trying to, and I really want it to have some grit and some edge, as with all the videos that I want to put out for this particular project. Mm-hmm. So Humble Monarch, that's a good call. Yeah.
We go after the show. We gotta talk about this.
We gotta talk about that. Yes. Yeah.
But that songbird, and literally, I was in the car, and I'm listening through because I like to kind of go through a couple times, and I'm listening, and I skipped it the first time, only because I was like, I'm not feeling like this is probably gonna be heavy. So you know how you just, and then I came back and I listened to it, and I was in the car, and I mean, things that came to mind was traffic stops. Just all of those things. And I was like, I was like, this song, I was like, this woman got a story behind this song that when I do talk to her, I want to definitely tap in on that.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, someone commented or asked a question to ask you, what pizza is better, New York or Connecticut?
First of all, if they ask that, they know what's up. Because nobody even thinks of Connecticut when they think of pizza. I'm going to have to say, not even Connecticut pizza, New Haven pizza.
What?
That's my hometown is known for pizza. There's a pizza spot in DC, Maryland called Pete's, a New Haven style pizza. That's how popular New Haven pizza is.
Wow.
You're on point. Whoever asked that question.
I'm going to have to check it out. I have a feeling that was DJ Wazio who asked that question.
Wazio know what's up.
Because he is always, he just said that. He said Wazio asked that.
Yep.
Then he says, no, New York City is better. See, y'all got to have a brawl here.
It's good and greasy in New York, but the sauces and the flavors of New Haven ain't like that. I just got back. You ain't gonna tell me nothing else. I just got back from New Haven. That's the first stop was the pizza spot. My band had to have they agreed. They were like, "What you talking about pizza?" So when we get to Connecticut, first stop. They all agree. Believers now.
You're gonna make me have to go on tour with you. Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Speaking of tour, I know I'm jumping around, but let's just, since we did hit that, you're touring right now. You're back on the road.
I won't call it a tour because a tour means you ain't coming back for a little while. I'm doing what I call spot dates.
Okay.
I'm popping in, jumping out, popping in, jumping out. And we just started with New Haven, Connecticut last week. And next week we'll be in New York at Arlene's Grocery on Wednesday. It's a whole lineup of ladies, a lot of alternative singers. I'm actually pretty excited to see some of the other sisters that are on it. And that's 10 o'clock next Wednesday. And then we got a little breather. Got some goodies I'm going to share at the end of the month. Won't tell you much more about that, but in between shows, I'll have some fun things to share. And then next month, I will be in Philadelphia at the grand reopening of World Cafe Live with a group called Snack Time Brass Band. From what I hear, they are the truth. They have such a strong fan following. It's a free show that we've already even sold out the free tickets already, over 300 RSVPs for that. And then right after that, I'm heading to North Carolina to Charlotte to do Middle C Jazz. And then we get another little breather. And then in October, I am in Richmond at the Camel, and I'm in DC at a spot called the Pie Shop. And then there are a few other dates that are pending. So I'm popping around. I'm getting out and getting back into the swing of things. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And all of those are, sorry to interrupt you. All of those are on my website. All of those dates.
Awesome. Speaking of website, so we can follow you on Deborah Bond.
Yep, I see it scrolling right down.
Yep, right down the bottom. Yep, I try to put everything down there. Yeah. On Twitter, it's Deborah Bond.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
IG, Deborah Bond. But on Twitter, you're Bora with an H.
With an
Bond,
H.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And on IG is Bora, like Bora Bora, but Bora Bond.
Yep.
And then YouTube, Deborah Bond Music. So
Deborah
you guys check her out. I mean, I know I have been posting some of your videos, but that is nothing compared to like even old music you have, as well as Compass, which again is just a fiery piece.
Thank you.
Just that girl, that okay, that's all. Like I can just, you know how they throw a shoe? I would throw a shoe at you behind.
Throw that shoe. Come on. Last person that did that was Lettucey. I was auditioning for her, and she made me sing for my life. And she threw a shoe. I said, "All right, I'm doing all right." That was years ago, but I'll let you. She told me you doing
it. Seriously, that's the kind of spirit that has. But I want to jump back a little bit in time for you because again, as I'm doing my research, I stumble across different pieces. And there's a song that you have that I think speaks to every single woman, every single girlfriend group, and it's "Don't Waste Your Time."
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time.
We all want to say this at some point in time too.
Oh, you know who said it to me? She calls me out on it. When that song came out, she was like, I know where you got that from. It's my mama. My mother used to tell me when I was young, don't waste your time on none of these little boys that don't have nothing. You know, if you can't bring them home to me, he'll waste the time. If he wasting your time. She used to always tell me that to not let a dude waste your time. Right. And at that time when I was writing that song, you know, when you have writers in your life, you know, you never know if your story is going to be a part of a song, of a soundtrack or a book. So I won't call them out by their names, but there was two sisters in my life who I felt like the brothers were wasting their time. And so some of the things I was saying, you answer to him, although he does all the wrong. And I had someone in my life who was always telling him every little move she made. And I'm like, but he's the shady one. Why are you always the one answering the questions?
Right.
You know,
put you in check when they out there doing their thing, right?
You know, and I did experience at least one close friend who, you know, he put his hands on her, and you know, and I'm like, nah, you know, like, so why in the world he put his hands around your neck? You know what I mean?
I remember that line, yes.
And so, you know, it was really like this call out to people to two sisters in particular that I really love, that I was watching them go on and on and on with a toxic relationship, and they were wasting. And I thought about what my mom said, to not let these cats waste your time. But but then in the bridge of that song, we're human, you know. And so there's in the bridge, I say, I know at times you feel so alone and you crave for his affection and look back on all those good times you had, and you think maybe he'll change. And you don't want to walk away. You know he's not going to change. Why won't you walk away? And so, yeah.
You know how we are as women. We feel like if we walk away now, we've done all this work for somebody else to reap the benefits of what we've done.
Exactly. That's a deep cut. That's cool that you brought that up, because that's like some of the diehard fans bring that one up. I only do it every now and then live, but I think I'm going to do an acoustic version of that one day, because it's a very guitar-driven song. But that's a goodie. That's an oldie but goodie.
I literally, when I heard that song, I was tickled, because I said, I've heard this personally
Yep.
I know you talk about your girlfriends. I have a couple girlfriends right now, and I'm like, So now I'm gonna take this song, and I'm gonna put it in our little chat, and I'm saying, y'all
Put a
need to
little chat,
listen.
right? Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Why you
you
want to hold on to them like no other would treat you right? Come on now.
right. You
Yeah.
deserve so much better than that.
Yeah.
And it put me in the mind of the a song from Destiny's Child back in the day. Girl, I'm your girl.
Yes. Yes.
I
I'm
was
your
like,
girl.
we
Yeah.
need these. We need these songs.
Yeah.
These are empowering songs,
And
actually.
it's rare that I write what brothers would call like a man bashing song. I don't ever tend to write song, and to be really all frankness with you, I wasn't going through that at the time. I was in at that time deep in the thick of what ended up being a 14-year relationship. So it was funny because I wasn't actually the one that could really relate to it at the moment, but I just was writing what I saw and what I felt for them. But we need those. We need every now and then that little song like Sister, come on now.
Right.
You know?
I got you.
So Compass, I had a flip of that, which was more, Smolder was more of a, girl, you know you fine.
Right.
You know you ain't even got to try.
Yes. That is, I don't know if you're familiar with her, but I just lost her name. There's an artist who wrote, author that wrote a book, what is it called? Girl Don't Apologize. And it's like Rachel Hollis. That's her name. So I saw her live speak, and she said, you got to have your partner expression, viewers, your badass playlist, which would be like empowering. And that song belongs on the badass playlist right there.
I'm going to make my own Spotify badass playlist.
There you go.
Because that's a good point. Like that song was, someone told me, a dear friend told me that she was peeping that I was changing my brand. All last year, I was doing all of these teasers and nobody even knew what I was doing. I hadn't said anything about working on the album. I was just being a journalist and doing like kind of little media teases and also trying to change the brand of my last record because it was a very different me, a different imagery. And so I started posting a lot of pictures that what I consider are not as glam, black and white. And there's, a lot of my social media, my profile picture, it's just this picture of me just in black and white. And she said, girl, you are smoldering in that picture. You giving me this, like you just giving me something, but you're not even, I see you changing your vibe here. And I said, yeah, I am. I'm older now, and I don't want to have to try so hard. And boom. I was like, I got an idea for a song. And there came Smolder. And then I also have always been told that I have a smoky voice and a raspy voice. And I was like, how can I play on all this smoky energy? and also let people know, that's right. You don't have to be butt ass naked on your pictures.
Right.
You can be sexy and alluring without even trying. Exactly. You don't have to do all of that. And that one was particularly for women that are like 35 or 40 and up. When you get to that place, you have to start accepting your body, your flaws, your this, and loving it all. Right. And knowing like, if you don't accept me this way, go on. Because I know you like it smoky. I know you like it just the way it is. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I love that you said that because as I was listening to different music from different times, because you've been in the business for a minute. When I started looking, I was like, wow, she's got quite a repertoire, and like names behind you and people that you perform with and stuff. So I remember just kind of listening through and I was like, wow, like from here to here, I was like this was like deer in headlight eyes, like back then, like young and fresh. And then I was like, wow, she has morphed into like this woman that's like, woman, here I am. No, I don't need your permission because I have all of this. I recognize who I am and I know what I am and what I have to give you. And you feel all of that through Compass. It's like,
that's beautiful to know.
And the title of that album is wonderful because so many of us lose our way. And you know what? That album just kind of brings you right back to focus. So I was getting all these things while I'm listening. I'm like, wow. I was like, she named this Compass. I was like, this is great because, your friends that are lost, let's play this. Let's talk about these songs on here. Let's find our way back to to where we are good with ourselves.
That's right. That's right. I mean, I wrote it out of the same energy of feeling lost, feeling like I was in a midlife crisis. In the last, since 2016, my life has been a complete roller coaster of extreme highs and extreme lows. And I mean extreme, from touring the world. I never been on a world tour with Incognito, to ending my 14-year relationship, to having my band go from rising to kind of like leveling and going down, and just my finances changing, my living space changing. So much personally for me felt unsure and cloudy, and like I don't know what I'm gonna do. But what I always know to be true with my personality is that I have to continue to find my way. I'm a Sagittarian. Our daggone symbol is a bow and arrow. You know,
Right.
we always got to find a new goal, and we are the truth seekers of the zodiac. We are always going to wander. We're always going to want to go somewhere next. Where to next? And so that term compass hit me immediately. As soon as I knew I was ready to work on another record, I was like, this is definitely going to be called Compass, because I don't know what I'm doing out here. I haven't had a record in 10 years. No, maybe people might not even accept me. I'm starting all over in my love life. All these new, like, how do I do this? How do I navigate? So Compass, that term came to me so easily, but I named it particularly with that symbol, the number 1, because I feel like we will always return to moments of feeling lost. No matter how grounded we are, we're going to always have these journeys throughout our life story. So who knows what the next Compass Volume 2 will be like, because, who knows? But, and I know, being me and the way I am, that there will be a 2, because I know that there's always these moments where I'm like, okay, what's next? What's next? I'm a mover. So, yeah.
I'm loving it. I'm loving all of that.
Yeah.
So you said, so you were talking about you wrote this particular album last year,
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of COVID.
In the middle.
Which I also find really interesting that you did Compass there too, because in the middle of COVID, all of us were lost. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know from day to day whether you're going to be healthy, who was going to pass away, it was non-directional. We were really spiraling.
Yes.
So there's so many things positive by you writing during this time, and then calling it Compass. I'm like, wow, this chick is insightful here. Look at you.
Thank you. And and it was purely for me. But when you're a creative, it's never for you. It's for the world, and so this album was kind of therapeutic for me and healing for me. And it was in the perfect timing of the universe, because people needed it as well. People needed music. I was really, really nervous to release it. I was like, I had waves of like, no one's going to dig it. People are going to think it's whack. They're going to be like, this is nothing like her last 2 albums. She did this joint in her living room. What is this? I came up with all these stories in my mind that I was going to get criticized about this record. And I have to thank Bluey from Incognito, who encouraged me not to sit on it and be humble about it, because I was really going to like, wink, it's out, bye, and he really encouraged me to allow his label, Splash Blue Records, to put it on a platform and get it out worldwide, for one, but also to like be proud of it. And there were quite a few other creatives in my network last year who were really encouraging me to not be so meek about putting it out and to stand on it, because once it was done and I really listened to it from start to finish, it was exactly what I wanted it to be. It was just the ego and these insecurities of being an artist. It had me in my head about like, what are people going to say? Oh God, let me put out one song first and just see what they do with that one. And when I put out Radio, it went over very well. So I was like, maybe I'm gonna be all right. Maybe it's gonna be all right. But it was really a moment I just felt like I needed to have for myself, all by myself, because I've created albums. My last 2 albums were created with three guys that I love so dearly, that toured with me, performed with me, co-wrote with me. They were my Rufus to my Shaka Khan, or my Sweetback to my Sade. They were that, and so I stepped away from them. I lost one of them in the group because he was my boyfriend and then he wasn't. And so there went from 3 to 2. And then the two that were still hanging in there with me, they were going through life and going through a lot. And it was just hard for us to focus and get work done. So I made the decision to step out by myself. And that alone, after you've been with a team for 20 years, that was very scary. I was like, how am I even going to put an album together? I've never done it by myself. Here we go. I literally in this seat. I sat in this seat that is almost broken now. It actually is broken. Let's hope it don't collapse before the end of the interview.
But you know what? Though? Look, from broken, something beautiful came. It's
Come
like
on,
a shell cracked open, you know?
I'm going to frame the seat of this chair. Someone told me I should frame it. And be like, because I sat on it so long, it's detached from the stool. I literally, right here to my side is a little lab of like mixers and microphones and headphones and speakers over here. And I sat right here and recorded it right here, probably with a glass of red wine.
Hey, you got to have that, you know,
or a little bit of bourbon, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I'll be in here writing and getting ideas out, but I did it right here and I did it by myself. And to an extent I did, because I get by with a little help from my friends who really all stepped in, but I'm proud of it. I'm really proud of it and what it symbolizes in my story. And now to hear people like you and like others that are getting it and that are supportive of it and that are reminding me that it wasn't just for me. It's just like, that helps me keep going, because I've had quite a few people in my life who are so talented decide over quarantine that they're giving up on music. And it's an easy time to want to give up because it's just so many challenges right now. But these kind of interactions, these kind of, the support from those like you, it reminds me that I'm here for a purpose. Don't give up. Just keep going.
Don't give up, girl. Don't.
Keep going.
Don't. Yeah. You have an assignment.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Given to you from the Most High.
Yeah.
You must fulfill it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna write a memoir one of these days. And I have real talk. I've come into brush with death twice in my life. And both times very like, whoa, kind of, situations. Been thrown up. Patience is all about, I got thrown off a motorcycle. When I say, are you sure you want to take that ride? Maybe, or things can take a turn and you'll end up lying on the ground. That was, I when that happened and I didn't have a concussion, I opened my eyes being thrown off of a motorcycle and I was actually alive. I couldn't walk for 2 months and I thought I was going to be hobbling on stage. And I thought my story was going to have a different turn. That alone showed me God has a purpose for me.
Yes.
He saved me. And that was the second time, because at 16, I was in Africa and got mugged by a group of people. I mean, I could not be here right now. And so I know I have a purpose. I know that the universe, God is like, honey, you got to be here and use this voice I gave you. You've got to share these stories. And so people don't always know what's behind some of the things I'm saying, like patience being really about my desire to be, I am just a go, 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 go. And then you
weren't listening. He kept sending you signals and you just didn't hear it. So he knows how to pump the brakes when you don't pump the
brakes real hard with that motorcycle, And so, I am honored when I can share the stories behind the music, and then I can have people tell me that they can relate, or that they take these words that meant whatever they meant to me and they apply them to whatever is in their life going on. And music is a healer. Music is supposed to, connect us and help us feel like we're a part of a great big universe that's together. And that's always been my purpose. So, I'm gonna continue on with that, until I knock on wood, universe, got my crystals. I'm not trying to give up anytime soon. So I'm gonna keep going until the story changes.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to be I still have pages and pages, so we're gonna have to have you come back again.
Let's have round two.
Right, exactly. But I know people are on lunch and watching, and they like to see every little bit.
Yeah.
So, I do want you to hold tight after we sign off really quick. But I want to thank you so much for coming on, and you are so real. I mean, what you hear is what you convey here, and it's wonderful when the music matches the person and the personality. That rawness and realness that you hear, you actually see that person is really who they say, who they give us. So
Thank you.
you're grateful too. You are a blessing. You really are.
Thank you. So
So,
are you. We
oh,
need
thank you.
every moment I get to share with someone like you, who I can see the excitement, I can feel the love. Like, you are just as important to the world because you help share what I'm doing to people who might not have ever known. So thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you, thank
much.
you, thank you. So
Yeah.
make sure when you start dropping stuff that I have the info, so we can start. We're gonna keep everybody abreast of what's
Oh,
going on with Miss
when
Deborah
we get
Bond.
offline, I'm gonna give you a little tidbit because we gotta have a round two. There's gonna be more to
Yes,
celebrate. So
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
All right. So to my viewers, thank you guys so much. I know we ran over. Hopefully nobody gets, get written up, but that's okay. It was well worth it. We got to spend time with Miss Deborah Bond, the songbird herself. So anyway, always I will see you guys next week, same bat channel. And I'd like to quote the infamous Don Cornelius, and
Yes.
saying, always imparting, we wish you love, peace, and soul. God bless
So
you all. Have a fantastic week.